Dog food seems simple, doesn't it? You scoop it, you serve it, your dog eats. End of story. That's what most of us believe. But for millions of seniors across America, that belief has turned into heartbreak, guilt, and overwhelming vet bills that no one warned them about. Because behind those colorful bags and shiny cans, hidden dangers are quietly destroying dogs from the inside out. Not overnight, not in an obvious way, slowly. Your dog gets a little less energetic. They sleep more. They don't finish their bowl like they used to, and you think, well, he's getting older. That's what most loving owners think. But what if it's not age at all? What if the food you trusted, the brand you've bought for years, is slowly poisoning your dog? Today, we're talking about dog food brands that have been linked to kidney failure, liver damage, neurological problems, cancer, and even sudden death. And here's what makes this especially painful for seniors. Many of you are on fixed incomes. You choose brands you can afford. You trust names that have been around for decades. You do your best. Your dog isn't just a pet. For many seniors, your dog is your daily routine, your emotional support, your reason to get up in the morning. So when something goes wrong, it hurts on a level that's hard to explain. Veterinarians see this pattern again and again. Dogs come in sick. Blood work looks bad. Kidneys are failing. Livers are damaged. And the question always comes up, what are you feeding your dog? That's when the truth starts to surface. Hidden toxins, cheap fillers, rendered animal waste, heavy metals, even traces of euthanasia drugs. Things that should never be in dog food. And yet they are. Why? Because the pet food industry has shockingly little oversight. Recalls happen quietly. Products stay on shelves. And loyal customers never get warned. By the time you realize something is wrong, the damage may already be done. This video is not about fear. It's about knowledge and protection. Today, we're exposing 9 dog food brands you should avoid at all costs. Brands many seniors trust without realizing the risk. And, just as important, we'll also show you the only 2 dog food brands that consistently meet real safety and quality standards, backed by veterinary science, not marketing. If you love your dog, and I know you do, stay with me until the end, because what you learn next could genuinely add years to your dog's life and save you thousands in vet bills and heartbreak. Quick question before we continue. What brand are you feeding your dog right now? Drop it in the comments. You're not alone. And your answer might help someone else avoid a painful mistake. And if you want honest, senior-friendly advice that protects both your health and your dog's, take a moment to subscribe. Now let's talk about how the dog food industry gets away with this in the first place. I know it can be confusing to remember all these bad brands. That's why I've created a printable, safe dog food list exclusively for my channel members. If you want to know exactly which brands I recommend and trust, click the join button below. Members get instant access to my full list of safe alternatives, so you never waste money on fake dog foods again. Here's the part most dog owners never hear. The dog food industry does not operate like human food. There is no requirement for dog food to meet the same safety standards as the food on your plate. No pre-approval. No routine batch testing before products hit store shelves. Instead, companies are largely trusted to police themselves. That's a dangerous system, especially when profits are involved. Many dog foods are made using something called rendered ingredients. In simple terms, rendering means cooking down animal remains at high heat into a thick slurry that can be dried and turned into meat meal. What goes into that rendering pot? Diseased livestock animals that died before slaughter, it's expired grocery store meat, roadkill, and in some documented cases, euthanized shelter animals once rendered. Everything looks the same. You can't tell what it came from. That's how ingredients like meat byproduct meal or animal digest end up on labels. Vague terms that hide disturbing realities. Now let's talk about recalls. When contamination is discovered, recalls often happen quietly. The food isn't pulled aggressively from shelves. Consumers aren't notified directly. And most seniors never hear about it unless they happen to watch the right news story at the right time. Even worse, dogs don't show symptoms right away. Poor quality food doesn't usually cause instant illness. It causes slow damage. Kidneys get overworked. Livers struggle to filter toxins. Inflammation builds month after month. By the time symptoms appear, the damage may already be severe. That's why so many seniors are told it's just old age. But often it's not. It's the food. And while you're dealing with rising vet bills, the company keeps selling the same product with the same formula to millions of other trusting families. Now let's look at the first brand on our list. Number 9, Purina Beneful. Avoid. Purina Beneful looks cheerful and harmless. Bright colors, happy dogs on the bag, words like wholesome, real beef, and farm-raised chicken. For decades, seniors trusted this brand. But behind the marketing is a long history of serious complaints. Thousands of dog owners reported the same disturbing pattern after feeding Beneful: sudden lethargy, vomiting, loss of appetite, excessive thirst, rapid weight loss. Veterinarians began noticing something else. Blood tests showed elevated liver enzymes, declining kidney function, signs of organ failure. And the common link? Beneful. Internal FDA records documented over 3,000 consumer complaints connected to this food. One of the most alarming ingredients found in some formulas was propylene glycol. This chemical is also used in antifreeze. While technically allowed in small amounts, it has no nutritional value and places extra stress on organs, especially in aging dogs. Then there are the artificial dyes: bright reds, yellows, greens. Dogs don't care about color. Those dyes are there to appeal to humans, and they've been linked to allergic reactions and hyperactivity. Open a bag of Beneful and notice the overly sweet chemical smell, the oily residue left on your fingers, the unnaturally colorful kibble. These are not signs of quality nutrition. Senior dog owners often describe the same heartbreak. Their dogs slowly stopped acting like themselves, less playful, more tired, then suddenly, very sick. And the worst part? You trusted the brand. You didn't do anything wrong. The food failed your dog. Before we move on, let me ask you, have you ever fed Beneful to your dog? Tell us in the comments. You're not alone, and your experience could help someone else. Next, we're looking at a budget brand many seniors turn to when money is tight and why it can cost far more in the long run. Olroy Avoid. Olroy is Walmart's budget dog food brand, and for many seniors living on fixed incomes, it feels like the only affordable option. The bag promises complete nutrition at a price that seems too good to pass up. But here's what that low price really means. Olroy relies heavily on meat byproducts instead of real meat. That includes ground beaks, feet, intestines, and connective tissue, parts never allowed in human food. Even more disturbing, in 2018, multiple Olroy products were linked to pentobarbital contamination. Pentobarbital is a euthanasia drug. Yes, the same drug used to put animals to sleep. FDA investigations confirmed that this drug enters dog food when rendered meat includes euthanized animals from shelters or livestock operations. Once rendered, there's no way to separate it out. When you open a bag of Olroy, notice the strong, musty smell, the crumbly kibble that turns to dust, the lack of any real meat aroma dogs eating Olroy often develop, constant itching and scratching, flaky, inflamed skin, chronic ear infections with a yeasty smell, digestive issues, and loose stools. These symptoms are commonly blamed on allergies, but the real cause is often cheap fillers like corn and wheat triggering systemic inflammation. For seniors, this is heartbreaking. You chose what you could afford. You thought you were doing your best, but the real cost shows up later in vet visits, prescription medications, and watching your dog suffer unnecessarily. That $10 bag can turn into thousands in medical bills and emotional pain no one prepares you for. Number 7, Gravy Train. Avoid. Gravy Train sounds comforting. Warm meals, savory gravy, a happy dog licking the bowl clean. But behind that name is one of the most disturbing scandals in pet food history. In 2018, Gravy Train was officially recalled after testing confirmed pentobarbital contamination, the euthanasia drug, across multiple batches. The FDA traced the source to rendering plants that process euthanized animals. That means dogs were unknowingly being fed food containing traces of dead pets. The thick gravy is not natural. It's a chemical mixture designed to mask rancid meat, hide low-quality ingredients, override your dog's instincts. Watch how the gravy congeals in the bowl. That gel-like texture is not meat juice, it's thickeners and artificial flavor enhancers. The chunks themselves are spongy and hollow, offering almost no real nutrition. Long-term Gravy Train feeding has been associated with seizures, tremors, sudden collapse, personality changes like aggression or withdrawal. Pentobarbital doesn't always kill immediately. It accumulates in the body over time. Many seniors reported their dogs hesitating before eating, sniffing the food and walking away, acting confused or disoriented. Dogs know when something is wrong, even when we don't. That metallic smell you sometimes notice when opening the can, that's contamination. If you've ever fed Gravy Train, don't feel ashamed. Millions of families trusted this brand, but now you know the truth. And knowing gives you the power to protect your dog. Have you ever used Gravy Train? Share your experience in the comments. It helps others wake up before it's too late. Next, we're moving on to a brand many people grew up with and why nostalgia doesn't make it safe. Kibbles and Bits. Avoid. Kibbles and Bits feels familiar. It's been around since the 1980s. Many seniors recognize the name instantly. It feels safe simply because it's always been there. But familiarity does not equal safety. Veterinary nutritionists warn that Kibbles and Bits is built almost entirely on cheap carbohydrates, not real nutrition. Look closely at the ingredient list. Corn appears multiple times. Ground yellow corn, corn gluten meal, corn syrup. That's not variety. That's filler disguised as food. Dogs are carnivores by nature. Their bodies are not designed to process constant sugar and starch overload. What happens over time? Dogs fed Kibbles and Bits frequently develop obesity, diabetes, chronic pancreatitis. These are the same metabolic diseases seniors work so hard to avoid themselves. The pancreas becomes inflamed from processing excess carbohydrates. Blood sugar spikes repeatedly. Organs wear out faster than they should. In 2018, Kibbles and Bits was also connected to the same pentobarbital contamination scandal involving euthanasia drugs found in rendered meat ingredients. Then there are the artificial dyes. Bright reds, yellows, blues. Dogs don't care about color. These dyes, like red 40 and yellow 5, have been linked to cancer in animal studies and are banned in several European countries for human use. Pick up a handful of this kibble and notice the greasy film left on your palm, the stale corn chip smell, the way your dog's water bowl turns cloudy after drinking. These are signs of poor quality fats and excessive fillers. Senior dogs often show morning vomiting of yellow bile, bloated, tender abdomens, constant hunger despite weight gain. You thought you were giving them variety and flavor. In reality, you were feeding them processed junk food day after day. Number 5, Alpo. Avoid. Alpo was once a household name. Celebrity endorsements, prime cuts, patriotic commercials. For decades, seniors fed Alpo to generations of dogs without question. But Alpo's fall from grace has been brutal and deadly. In 2016, Alpo was involved in a major recall due to toxic levels of vitamin D. Too much vitamin D causes kidney failure, calcium deposits in organs. Sudden death dogs across the country became violently ill. Some never recovered. But that wasn't an isolated incident. Alpo relies heavily on meat byproducts. Bone meal chemical preservatives like BHA and BHT, both BHA and BHT are classified as possible carcinogens by international cancer research organizations. Open a can of Alpo and watch what happens. The food slides out in one solid gelatinous mass. It smells faintly rotten. The meat chunks are gray and mushy. Press one with your finger. It disintegrates instantly. That's not fresh protein. That's rendered waste held together by gel and chemicals. Consumer Reports documented dogs vomiting blood, collapsing within hours of eating, developing rapid kidney failure. FDA inspections found expired ingredients stored for months, poor sanitation routine, cross-contamination. Senior dogs fed Alpo often follow the same tragic pattern. Appetite becomes erratic. Urine turns dark amber. Blood tests show elevated creatinine and BUN. Their kidneys simply cannot keep up. For seniors managing their own kidney health, watching a beloved dog decline the same way is devastating. You trusted a name that felt American and reliable. But Alpo didn't honor that trust. It traded your dog's health for profit. Next, we'll look at a brand that spends millions on heartwarming commercials and why the reality behind the bag is very different from what you see on TV. Number 4, Pedigree. Avoid. Pedigree is everywhere. It's one of the most recognizable dog food brands in America, owned by a massive corporation, backed by non-stop commercials showing happy dogs running through green fields. For many seniors, Pedigree feels safe simply because it's familiar. But when you look past the advertising, the ingredient list tells a very different story. Pedigree is built mostly from corn, wheat, gluten, animal fat. These are cheap fillers, not quality nutrition. The chicken listed on the label is usually chicken byproduct meal. That means rendered organs, bones, and scraps cooked at extremely high temperatures until most nutritional value is destroyed. Dogs fed Pedigree long-term often develop the same pattern of problems. Constant itching and scratching, chronic ear infections with dark, foul-smelling wax dull, greasy coats that never seem clean. Veterinarians see this over and over again. Then come the digestive issues. The gut stays inflamed from wheat and gluten exposure. Eventually, dogs begin to suffer bloody diarrhea, straining and pain during bowel movements, sudden dehydration requiring emergency vet visits. In 2012, Pedigree was linked to a major salmonella outbreak that sickened both dogs and the humans who handled the food. Over 300 cases were reported. For seniors with weakened immune systems, handling contaminated kibble alone can be dangerous. Pick up pedigree and notice the strong chemical smell, the greasy residue left on your hands, the way the kibble looks sprayed with fat. That smell isn't nutrition, it's artificial flavoring, covering up low quality ingredients. A study published in the Journal of Veterinary Internal Medicine found that over 60% of dogs fed pedigree showed signs of food intolerance within 6 months. The brand markets happiness. The reality is inflammation, infections, and mounting vet bills. There are three. Rachel Ray Nutrish. Avoid. Rachel Ray Nutrish feels different. A smiling celebrity face. Claims of real food for real dogs. Higher price than grocery store brands. It looks premium. But in 2015, a class action lawsuit exposed a disturbing truth. Independent testing found glyphosate, the active chemical in Roundup weed killer, inside Nutrish dog food. Glyphosate has been linked to cancer and organ damage. Some samples tested as high as 104 parts per billion. Even worse, ingredients marketed as natural and U.S. sourced were actually imported from countries with lower safety standards and processed in facilities with repeated FDA violations. Open a bag of Nutrish and notice the signs. A dry, cardboard-like smell, kibble that crumbles like compressed sawdust. No rich meat aroma at all. That's not fresh protein. That's over-processed grain held together with flavor enhancers. Dogs fed. Nutrish have been documented developing rapid weight loss, despite normal eating, morning bile vomiting, dull coats and thinning fur. And in 2017, Nutrish also recalled thousands of bags due to dangerously large, rock-hard kibble pieces. Dogs cracked teeth, some choked and required emergency surgery. The brand promised transparency and quality, but delivered contamination, poor sourcing, and unsafe manufacturing. Seniors who trusted the celebrity endorsement felt deeply betrayed. You paid more because you wanted better. Instead, you got a polished marketing story hiding low-quality food that slowly damages your dog's health. Up next, we reveal the so-called premium brand that charged top dollar while secretly lying about its ingredients for years. Number 2. Blue Buffalo. Avoid. Blue Buffalo is often marketed as the premium choice. Natural, holistic, ancestral nutrition inspired by wolves. Many seniors pay double or even triple the price because they believe they're protecting their dog from cheap grocery store food. But in 2017, that illusion completely collapsed. A lawsuit revealed that Blue Buffalo had been lying about its ingredients for years. Despite claiming no poultry byproduct meals, no corn, wheat, or soy, internal documents showed the company was secretly using exactly those ingredients. Executives knew, and they kept selling it anyway. For seniors on fixed incomes, that betrayal stings deeply. You paid more because you wanted safer food. Instead, you were misled. It gets worse. Multiple Blue Buffalo formulas have been recalled for dangerously high vitamin D levels, which caused hypercalcemia, toxic calcium buildup, kidney failure, death in dogs. Vitamin D toxicity is especially devastating because symptoms often appear too late. Excessive thirst, vomiting weakness, sudden collapse. By the time owners realize something is wrong, the kidneys are already damaged. Independent testing also found heavy metals, including lead mercury. These metals accumulate in a dog's body over time. Dogs fed Blue Buffalo developed seizures, sudden aggression, confusion, extreme lethargy. The kibble itself often smells strongly of fish oil gone rancid. That sharp, sour, fishy odor is not healthy omega fats. It's oxidized fat, which damages cells and increases cancer risk. Many owners notice their dogs hesitating before eating. Trust your dog's instincts. They know when something isn't right. Blue Buffalo wasn't just misleading, it was knowingly deceptive. Premium price, premium marketing, but premium safety, absolutely not. Number 1, Purina Dog Chow, avoid at all costs. Purina Dog Chow is pure nostalgia. That red and white checkerboard bag has been in American homes for over 90 years. Many seniors grew up with it. Their parents fed it, their grandparents trusted it, so it feels safe. But longevity does not mean quality. Purina Dog Chow is built almost entirely on corn wheat. Soy dogs are carnivores. They are not designed to live on cheap grains. Corn is used because it's subsidized and cheap, not because it nourishes dogs. The meat and bone meal listed on the label is a rendered slurry of diseased livestock, unidentified animal parts, animals that died before slaughter, yes, even euthanized animals. The rendering process kills some bacteria, but not all toxins. In 2013, thousands of dogs became violently ill after eating Purina dog chow contaminated with salmonella. The FDA investigation uncovered rodent droppings in facilities, mold growth on equipment, poor sanitation, cross contamination between batches. Dogs fed dog chow long term often develop chronic kidney disease, diabetes, obesity related arthritis, persistent digestive issues. The kidneys suffer the most. Low quality proteins create excessive waste that aging kidneys must filter. Over years, those kidneys simply give out. Pour some kibble into your hand and notice the dull, dusty look, powdery residue coating your skin, a faint mildew like smell. That dust isn't nutrition, it's degraded grain that's been sitting too long. Veterinary data shows that over 40% of dogs fed exclusively on Purina dog chow develop diet related illness by age 7. For seniors, watching a loyal companion fail because of food you trusted is heartbreaking. You believed in the brand, you believed in tradition, but the checkerboard bag represents profit over pets. This is the single worst offender on the list. Up next, we finally reveal the only two dog food brands that consistently meet veterinary safety standards, and how switching can dramatically improve your dog's health in just weeks. The first truly safe option, Hill's Science Diet. After everything we've exposed so far, this is where the conversation finally changes from fear to relief. Hill's Science Diet is not a grocery store gimmick. It is veterinary-driven nutrition. This brand was founded by a veterinarian in 1939, and to this day, its formulas are developed with veterinarians, nutritionists, and food scientists, not marketing executives or celebrities. What makes Hill's different? First, strict ingredient sourcing. Every batch is tested for heavy metals, bacterial contamination. Nutritional accuracy. Hill's does not use mystery meat. The first ingredient is clearly identified protein like real chicken or lamb, not meat byproduct or animal digest. Second, life stage and condition-specific formulas. Senior dogs don't need the same food as puppies. Hill's understands this. They offer formulas designed specifically for kidney support, heart health, joint mobility, digestive sensitivity. For seniors caring for aging dogs, this matters more than anything. Their renal support formulas, often recommended by veterinarians after a kidney disease diagnosis, are clinically proven to reduce strain on failing kidneys, control phosphorus levels, maintain muscle mass safely. These aren't marketing claims. They're backed by peer-reviewed research. Open a bag of Hill's and notice the difference. No chemical smell, no greasy residue, no artificial colors. The kibble smells clean and neutral, like food, not chemicals. Dog owners consistently report improved energy within weeks, firmer stools, shinier coats, fewer vet visits. Yes, it costs more than bargain brands. But here's the truth. Seniors understand better than anyone. You either pay a little more now or you pay thousands later in vet bills. Hill's chooses science over shortcuts, and that choice saves lives. The second safe choice, Royal Canin Plus. Final message, Royal Canin takes safety one step further. This brand focuses on something most companies completely ignore. Dogs are not all the same. A Chihuahua does not have the same needs as a German Shepherd. A senior dog does not digest food like a young adult. Royal Canin builds breed-specific and age-specific formulas designed around jaw shape and chewing ability, digestive sensitivity, joint stress, cognitive aging. For senior dogs, this precision matters enormously. Their kibble texture is designed for easy chewing, ideal for dogs with dental issues or missing teeth. Their senior formulas include antioxidants for brain health, omega fatty acids for joints, highly digestible proteins that reduce kidney strain. Royal Canin also maintains exceptional manufacturing standards, full ingredient traceability, batch-by-batch testing, third-party audits. They have maintained one of the best safety records in the industry with no major recalls in over a decade. Owners switching to Royal Canin often notice better mental alertness in older dogs, improved mobility, less confusion, and anxiety. For seniors watching their dogs age alongside them, these changes are priceless. Now let's be clear. The brands we exposed today didn't fail accidentally. They chose profit over pets. They relied on trust, nostalgia, and marketing to keep you buying, while cutting corners behind the scenes. Your dog cannot read labels. They cannot research recalls. They trust you completely. And now you have the truth. Avoid the 9 brands that gamble with your dog's life. Choose food backed by science, transparency, and accountability. Hill's Science Diet, Royal Canin. These brands prove that safe dog food is possible. If this helped you protect your dog, subscribe now so you never miss another warning. And tell us in the comments, what food is your dog eating right now? Your dog has given you unconditional love for years. The least we can do is give them food that won't betray that trust. Let's slow this down for a moment. If this video felt heavy, that's because it matters. For many seniors, a dog isn't just a pet. It's companionship, routine, a reason to get up in the morning. Your dog has been there through retirement health, scares, quiet homes, long nights, and they trust you completely. The hardest part about everything we expose today is this. Most dog owners were never careless. You followed the commercials. You trusted familiar brands. You bought what was affordable and widely available. The system failed you. The pet food industry is allowed to operate with shockingly little oversight, and companies take advantage of that gap every single day. But now you know better. And knowledge gives you power. You don't need to panic. You don't need to feel guilty. You just need to make one better choice going forward. Switching to a safer, veterinary-backed food can reduce inflammation, ease digestion, protect aging kidneys, improve energy and mood. Many seniors report their dogs acting years younger within weeks of switching. More alert, more playful, more comfortable. That's not magic. That's nutrition done right. If you found this helpful, please subscribe. It costs nothing, but it helps this message reach other dog owners who don't know what's hiding in those bags yet. And before you go, leave a comment. What dog food are you using right now? And how old is your dog? Your experience might save someone else from making the same mistake. Your dog gave you loyalty without conditions. Now you can return the favor with food that protects them instead of harming them. Stay safe. Give them an extra hug tonight, and we'll see you in the next video.